Hi, I'm Phil Coutu. I'm your host here. We're live on Insurance Claims Radio. We are a radio show that talks about hail damage, property damage, wind damage to your property. There's one 2 days ago. And I am here with a prominent public adjuster, James D'Angelo. His cell number is 303-885-3731. James has been in the business for a long time, over 35 years. I'm here with Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting, and his cell number is 720-975-4253. Me and James are having a little disagreement about how long we're on the air today. And Ryan, he's a prominent commercial roofer, and he also does residential claims. Our radio show today, we're going to open it up. We just left off talking about some red flags. We're going to open up and go back. I looked up, guys. We're talking about claims when your insurance company comes out and says, hey, you don't have coverage. We excluded cosmetic coverage. We excluded granular loss. So we were talking in a previous show about it. And these are things where we're trying to communicate to you, the policyholder, the public, that when you have an insurance company talk about, oh, your roof's repairable, oh, you do not have coverage. Our big thing is, should you trust that opinion? And who's reading that insurance policy? It's the insurance industry, their adjuster, or their case managers. Remember, companies are in business for profit. They might not always have your best interest. Sure, there's some very good insurance companies, and there's a lot of insurance companies that are indoctrinated to see things a certain way, not in your favor. If you ever had a car claim, you know, it's not surprising you have a car claim that's $8,000 damage and the insurance company's in it, $4,200, $3,600, $5,000. And you're like, what? And it's a big fight. So that's why we have this panel here. It's to help you. I am Phil Coutu. I am with rooftoproofing.com, powerappraisers.com, and poweradjusters.com. And we specialize in troubled claims. My company's actually will give you an honest opinion, and if we feel that you've been wronged, we will take your claim on. We will finance large deductibles. We will front all the costs for experts to prove that claim. What we're saying is, if we disagree with your insurance company, we're going to fight for you. Some instances, we don't disagree with the insurance company. Just so everybody knows out there, I've been an insurance adjuster spanning several decades. I've been a roofer for 34 years, and I've actually owned a catastrophe company. You want to look at your professionals. You want to see their CV. You want to see their background. This is a very easy business to get into. These licenses often are just paying money. Public adjuster licenses you can get within a few days of training and writing an exam, and boom, you're a public adjuster that has no experience construction. Or you might have been in the business for 7-8 years, a public adjuster, and they still don't know what they're doing. So it's very, very important. We're going to get into the ambiguous clause. So I brought up, we're talking about things that are ambiguous. So just because an insurance company tells you you don't have coverage doesn't mean you don't have coverage, because they tell you a cosmetic exclusion. Your roof got hit by hail. Maybe your metal roof's dented, and they tell you, no, you don't have any coverage. Look at your cosmetic exclusion. So there's what's called ambiguity clause in the insurance policy, insurance industry rule. So I'm going to read this. This is from the Business Dictionary. You can pull this up on the internet. Insurance industry rule that if the terms of or words in an insurance policy do not carry a clear meaning, then the meaning which goes against the insurance firm and in favor of the insured prevails. That's super important for all our listeners out there. I've used that many times. I've challenged all the way to court and litigated on behalf of my clients, and I've paid for it, where we've challenged these cosmetic clauses and won. They can be written in many ways. They contradict each other from the start of the policy, because the start of the policy often says we will pay for direct physical damage. Then they bring in these exclusions. They say they'll pay for hail, and then they bring in these exclusions, and they're not always well written. So you might have coverage when you think you don't. And let's open up to our panel. We got Ryan with Blue Ribbon Contracting, James D'Angelo, prominent public adjuster. Okay, actually, we're going to open up to our panel in a couple seconds because you're listening live to Insurance Claims Radio, and we'll be back. Do you have a commercial hail claim, troubled hail claim, underpaid claim, Missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com. Hi, we are here live with Insurance Claims Radio. We're a show that talks about property insurance, hail damage, fire damage. We're here to talk about troubled insurance claims, underpaid insurance claims, red flags. I'm your host, Phil Coutu at rooftoproofing.com. You can reach me by text or call me at 720-296-3492. I'm a prominent public adjuster. I'm a roofer for 34 years, and we specialize in large loss commercial and complex claims. We have Brian from Blue Ribbon Contracting here. He's statewide, and he specializes in commercial and residential. He can be reached at 720-975-4253. We're also sitting with another very experienced public adjuster, James D'Angelo. His phone number is 303-885-3731. So we're live, guys. Let's pick it up with the ambiguous clause. I'm going to read it out to everybody again. Insurance industry rule that if the terms of or words in, comma, an insurance policy do not carry a clear meaning, then the meaning which goes against the insurance firm and in favor of the insured prevails. Why is that important today? Well, we're talking about cosmetic exclusions. We were on an earlier show talking about granular loss that's excluded, but they say they cover structural damage. So often what we're trying to get out there to the community is that maybe an insurance company said, oh, you don't have coverage for this. Should you believe them? Maybe an insurance company said your roof's repairable. Is it repairable, or maybe should it be totaled? You've got a panel of experts here to discuss, answer any questions you might have. You're welcome to call in, and let's take it live. James.
Well, you got two components here, Phil. One component, which, and you're versed in both of them, as all three of us are. One component is actually the policy, okay, which is a separate entity all unto itself, and coverages. And the other component is, what are damages to a roof? What is hail damage? How's the membrane damaged? What takes place? When you use the term manifest itself, what's that mean over time? Does a little ding mean that it's structurally damaged? So both components need to be looked at. One of the things you mentioned in an earlier segment is the language of a policy, if it's vague, that you went on and read a definition off online, that the benefit goes to the other party. The fact of the matter is, as we all know, insurance policies are one of those agreements we all enter into, and when we enter into the agreement, we don't get to change the language of the agreement. We don't get to negotiate at all. When you enter into agreement with an insurance company, they write the policy as they want to write it, and they sell you what they want to sell, and they price at the price they want to collect. There is no negotiation. So, from a law standpoint, I think the law, to be fair, basically states that if there's something vague in there, the insured does get the benefit, which makes total sense. So then you move over to the damages themselves. And none of us are here to disparage an insurance company. We all need insurance. It helps our society. It helps our way of life. We all need and want insurance, and we all want our insurance companies to be profitable. That's important to every one of us. The only thing we don't want is we don't want them to be profitable when we have a loss at our expense. That's just not fair. So when you say they come out and they say there's no damages or there's very little damages, the first question you got to ask yourself is, who is this insurance adjuster? Is he a contractor? What's his experience? I think what you'll find in most of these cases, they're young people. This is their first professional job. They've never ever did put a roof on a building, and they use a software program to come up with the price. Well, the software program's really not the marketplace. Okay, the marketplace is going out and calling contractors like yourself, Phil, or calling Ryan. That's the marketplace. That's what real pricing is. So I think what is best for every insured is to get a second opinion, where they call Ryan, you, myself, or somebody they know in the industry, somebody that's very reputable, and have a consultation to find out what their options are.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, James and Phil, I have to ask this question as the listeners are sitting here and going through their portion. What is the actual deviation or difference from the adjuster's first pass, looking at the damage, the contractor? I mean, what's the difference in commercials? Isn't it something like 100%? In residential, we see anywhere from 40 to 80. So if you're a homeowner and you're sitting out there and you go, oh my goodness, and you're listening to this radio show, let's just be very clear right here. When the insurance company gives you the first pass, as Phil read in a previous show, it's the lowest pass. And you got to call a contractor to review the system and look at what the differential is to see what it's going to take to bring that back to pre-loss. But guys, I would just like to ask, where do you see what's the differential?
Well, let's just look at the mechanics of it. An insurance company is actually a business for profit. Okay? I mean, let's just get down to, and so are we. So how do they actually make profits? Well, they take your premiums and they invest them. Okay? That's what they do, and they hold some in reserves for claims. Just by design, it is in their best interest to pay the least amount on every claim they have. It only makes sense. It's good business. We don't want them overpaying for claims. By the same token, their insurance adjusters, and I'm not saying this to be disparaging, but the less they know, the better it is for them, the carrier. People can't pay what they don't know. They just cannot. They can only pay what they've been trained.
One of the biggest hoodwink things that I've seen out there is when some of these lower-end insurance companies bring out their engineer. And this guy's sitting in front of you, gives you this 30, 20, sometimes 70-page engineer report. And you read it. And you kind of skim through, you're like, okay, I got no damage. I'd like the audience out there, you know how many of those I've overturned and won multi-million-dollar claims on? Almost every one. An insurance adjuster does this every day. He knows when he sees insurance damage, unless it's really high-end forensic damage, which often he doesn't see, so he's not even going to call an engineer. He's just going to say no damage. But many, many times we've beat engineering firms. If we're going to take on a claim, we're looking to beat them every time because we disagree with their opinion. And there's hidden damages that nobody sees. Do you think most insurance companies, and we're not saying all here, but when you're for a profit business, if nobody knows there's damage and you can't visibly see it, what's your guys' opinion? Do you think the insurance company is going to write up and pay for that? Or
Absolutely not.
No.
Or at least these lower-end insurance companies aren't going to?
Absolutely not. Even the higher end. If you can't see it, and we all know there are damages that you cannot see with the naked eye.
That's right.
We have all seen it. We've all put them under microscopes. There are damages the naked eye cannot detect.
So I want everyone to know that you're live with Insurance Claims Radio. We got prominent public adjuster James D'Angelo here and Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting. I'm Phil Coutu with Rooftop Roofing. And I'm going to tell you guys, like, I'm a roof inspector. So a lot of times we want the policyholder, the public holder, to get their second, third opinion and get a real qualified guy. You don't even have to call. Everybody has references these days. Take a look at that resume. Take a look at the time in the business that your expert has, whether it's a public adjuster or a contractor. Take a look at his education. Ask him about some of his biggest claims that he's won. Because you have to be patient with some of these true professionals. Patience is a virtue. The insurance company loves to drive a wedge. Oh, this is taking too long. Well, You know, I've had claims that have been zero, and they're taking a long time, and the people don't understand why it's taking a long time. And that is one of the things I see with the insurance company trying to drive a wedge between contractors out there and public adjusters is the time frame. Now, listen, a lot of guys are busy and they're dragging out claims, but there's some reasons. There's times where I actually slow claims down and I'm dragging them out because it's advantageous. It's a chess match. We're trying to win a multi-million-dollar claim. Maybe the insurance company's paid $20,000. They're engineered up, expert up. There's a major battle to be had. So that's where you got to move your chess pieces carefully. We are live with Insurance Claims Radio. We're a radio show that talks about property insurance. We're specializing right now talking about the hailstorms that hit Colorado. I'm live with a prominent public adjuster serving Colorado and other states. His name is James D'Angelo. He specializes in handling troubled claims across the U.S. that are large commercial claims. His cell number is 303-885-3731. I'm also here with Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting. He's a contractor that is statewide, and he specializes in residential and commercial claims as a contractor. His phone number is 720-975-4253. I'm Phil Coutu with Rooftop Roofing, Power Adjusters, Power Appraisers, Insurance Claims School. And we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. Do you have a commercial hail claim? Troubled hail claim? Underpaid claim? Missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles? All the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com. Hi, this is Phil Coutu, and you are live with Insurance Claims Radio. I'm your host. You can reach me at 720-296-3492 or check us out at rooftoproofing.com, powerappraisers.com, and also poweradjusters.com. We are a show that specializes in property insurance claims, and we're talking about hail right now. And I'm going to open it back up to the panel. I've got James D'Angelo, prominent public adjuster. We'll get to his information shortly. And I've got Ryan from Blue Ribbon Contracting, who does residential and commercial claims for construction. Anyways, guys, let's open it back up where we're at.
Well, let's go back. I mean, so guys, what do you really think the differential is in insurance? I don't think we answered that for the listeners, but what can the listeners expect on their first pass by the insurance company? I mean, how much do you think they're literally losing in that first port roughly that you get back?
You know, I don't feel comfortable with that, honestly, Ryan. You know, I believe that, and let me preface it. I mentioned earlier in another segment that if you're an insurance adjuster, you can't pay what you don't know, okay?
Sure.
If you don't understand something, you can't say, I agree with it. That does not mean that these people are dishonest by any means, okay? That just means that they don't have your education. They certainly don't have mine, okay? You know, they just don't have our experience. So that being the case, let's assume for 1 minute they want to do the very best job they can. And they go out there, but if you only know 20% or you only know 25% or 50%, that's all you can pay. And, you know, what's a prerequisite to be an insurance adjuster for a carrier? Well, a college degree. It can be in anything. It does not necessarily have to be in any type of construction or insurance. And that's it.
And I think we got to add to this that for the listeners that I think Phil made a good comment in a previous show that, hey, adjusters don't have to be licensed in Colorado. So you're kind of in between, but the PAs do. So James does have to be licensed. So if you're out there and you're looking and you're having issues, you want somebody that's licensed to take a look at what's really going on, or you want a contractor that's licensed, that's carrying their licensing for roofing, that's been through the training. Go ahead, James.
Ryan, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Let's assume that the three of us were going to be adjusters, okay? And we wanted to bring on a fourth with us. For us to take that fourth person, how many classes would we have to put them in to bring them up to our level of knowledge?
Man, for classes, I think
Years.
years and years.
So what insurance company that you know of are taking their new adjusters and putting them in classes for years?
Nobody, zero.
Okay. So that was my point earlier. They can't pay what they don't know.
And I think for the listeners, what you need to get out of this conversation is that you want somebody that knows what they're doing, understands, has been in the industry for a while, can go through, has managed claims, and has dealt with difficult claims, and has gone through the process. And let's be honest, I mean, not all insurance companies are bad. I think Phil said that before. I think that you've got new adjusters that come out on the deal. We're not saying that these guys are intentionally trying to move it, but if you don't have the right contractor or the right PA or the right person doing your roof, there's the potential that there's going to be corners cut.
You know, I absolutely believe that these young adjusters that start in the industry want to help people. Okay, I actually believe that. And they want to do their best. But I have to go back to my original statement. If they don't have your background, they don't have Phil's background, how can they pay what they don't know? They can't.
Great discussion there for our public out there, guys, because you're speaking of Phil Coutu. I still am a licensed insurance adjuster in some states. I still consult to some insurance companies. And when I was there, I'll give you a quick story. In 2004, I was handling an insurance claim in Florida, and I met this. I thought it was an attorney at first, but it was a prominent public adjuster. What a public adjuster is, he's somebody who's your own private adjuster, which I am now, and James is on the show right now. And I called my case manager of 27 years, and I've already been an adjuster for a long time. I said, hey, the policy says repair or replace. I've got a little water damage stain in this high-end house, multi-million-dollar house there on one of the canals. I think it was West Palm Beach. And I said, so I was going to cut it off at the door and revarnish the whole kitchen floor for this little water stain because they say we can't blend it in. What's the stance that the state insurance company has? My own case manager who I'm friends with said, Phil, you cut it off at the door. You can put a little board across there. I said, okay, great. So I went and got into it. Turns out this was a very, very prominent PA, about 63, 64 years old. Was actually head of FAPIA a few years before. That's the Florida Association of Public Independent Adjusters. So he's on the other side fighting the insurance company. I'm working for the insurance company. And he goes out to his little sports car convertible. He's got a printer. He's all set up. And he punches me out a state statute that overrides what my case manager said and overrides actually what the policy said. And so I ended up throwing in $100,000 for this stain because these floors were continuous. And the way the statute read is like, you got to match this floor all the way through. So I stapled that, even though my case manager said, Phil, you just repair it. And sent it in for the extra $100,000. It's like a $250,000 residential claim. And didn't hear a word. They paid it because the statute overrode the policy language. So you can't always be trusting. You can't even trust the people you're working with. And sometimes they just flat out don't know. Because when you've been taught something year after year after year the same way, you believe it. And so I've always believed in asking a lot of questions and standing up to authority a little bit to get to the truth, right? Seek the truth with all your heart. Hopefully you find it. So that's one of my stories. Ryan wanted to talk about the differential between what he thinks the first go-around with the insurance company is. So I pulled up a study online. This is a study done by the Office of Program Policy Analysis and Government Accountability, brackets OPPAGA, an office of the Florida Legislature performed a study on Florida public adjusters. Here's what they found. When the hurricanes hit in 2004, they studied approximately, it's in the tens of thousands of claims. And the study showed in 2004, public adjusters took these water claims from 18,000 approximately to 22,000. Nice increase. But the next year, they did the same study. So let's look at this. In the study, they evaluated claims filed with citizens from March 2008 to June 2009 for a total of 76,321 claims. Of these claims, 21,545 were handled by Florida public adjusters, while the comparison group consisted of 54,776 claims that either had no representation or were represented by a party other than a public adjuster. So in 2005, here's what the study found. The average claim paid without a public adjuster was $2,029. The ones that had representation were 17,187. Here is the percentage difference. By having a public adjuster, this doesn't even mean your public adjuster is qualified. That was a 747% increase on an average claim payment with the assistance of a public adjuster. This is huge, people out there. And this is just taking your beginner public adjusters, because public adjusting blew up in 2004 with the hurricanes. So that's an incredible stat. The year before, it still increased many, many percentiles. But the insurance company dropped down, so they were paying less for these type of claims because they suffered severe losses. So that's a great fact to think about. With representation, it would cost those people an average is 10% of their claim, probably $1,800, to score about another, looks like approximately $16,000 over $2,000 or $18,000. It's a pretty big score, 574% difference. Thank you for listening to Insurance Claims Radio. Do you have a commercial hail claim, troubled hail claim, underpaid claim, missed damages, bad faith, possible legal action? Rooftop Restoration is a leading hail loss consumer advocate for poorly handled insurance claims. We specialize in hail damage, large commercial claims, and provide the total claims package risk-free. We pay and cover all expert costs, engineers, attorneys, roof inspectors, adjusters. We get you what you deserve under your insurance policy. Finance large deductibles, all the experts, experience, and stellar reputation with zero out-of-pocket costs. Risk-free. Call or text Rooftop Restoration at 720-296-3492. Call or text at 720-296-3492. That's 720-296-3492. And check us out at rooftoprestoration.com.